Hey guys, in this video I want to show you the way I calibrate and use my refractometer. So the way, and then bam, intro. It's like I don't have an intro. So a couple months ago I was actually thinking about buying one of those digital refractometers or digital salinity things. Basically because I was having a really hard time getting an accurate reading every time I used my refractometer. So every time I had to pull it out and check my salinity of the new water that I was mixing, I had to calibrate my refractometer all over. So it was getting super annoying and the readings were not consistent at all. I was mixing my new salt water and I would check the salinity and it was really high. I would put my refractometer down and then I would check the salinity again 10 minutes later and I would get like a much lower reading. The only factor that was changing in that water was the temperature because I was actually heating it up. I had put the heater in there already. This fluid is the one that I've always used to calibrate my refractometer, and it's basically a solution that's mixed at 35 parts per thousand. But if you pay attention to the bottle, it says that it's a salinity at 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. So if your refractometer is put away and it's sitting at like 60 degrees, then you put this thing on there, you're gonna calibrate that at 60 degrees. Dip this for 5 minutes so that the temperature of this matches the temperature of the tank of the water in your aquarium. If you have this salinity solution, you also have to float this so that this is also the correct salinity of 78 degrees or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're running 79 or 89 or 80 degrees, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be at this exact temperature. The whole point of this is just that everything needs to be at the same temperature so that you get a good calibration. First, you gotta clean your refractometer really good with RODI water. Just wipe it, make sure there's no leftover salt water in there, and then use this, and then just put a couple drops and check it, and then just with the screw on top, adjust it until the blue line is at 35 parts per thousand. In this case, I calibrated this refractometer a couple months ago, so it's still good. So now you're good to check the salinity of whatever water you're testing. After you use it, just wipe this, just wipe it with RODI water really well because this stuff rusted really easily. And every time you want to use it again, all you have to do is float this again for 5 minutes, and then you're good to go. You don't have to calibrate your refractometer again. The one thing that I wanted to talk about here is that a lot of people calibrate their refractometers with RODI water. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to calibrate this with RODI water. Alright, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put this back in there and float it for 5 minutes and also flow this RODI water in there. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this same RODI water to clean the refractometer. Alright, so just make sure it's really clean, that there's no leftover salt water in there. And then just pour some RODI water on there. In this case, if you're using RODI water to calibrate your refractometer, you just adjust the knob to bring it to 0. I didn't change the position of the nut on top, and it's at 0 degrees. So according to this, you could either calibrate with the salinity solution, or you could calibrate with RODI water. So this is right now, it's calibrated, so I could check the salinity of my tank, and it should be exactly at 35 parts per thousand, and it is. Now I know that this is the way to do it, and that temperature is the main factor in this. I'm not gonna be buying this again because it is like $15 or so, and yeah, it's the same thing. As long as you calibrate everything at the same temperature, you should be fine. So if you were thinking of upgrading from one of these to one of the digital versions, let me know if this helped you out, if this video helped you out. If it did, like it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, alright?